Hello, everybody. We're live. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. My name is Crystal. Welcome to the channel, Real Lady Electrician. My name's Crystal. I'm a retired electrician. I am a little bit tired. Just been busy this week, Monday and Tuesday, running around. Okay. Hello, everybody. Let me turn this all the way down. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Wrong button. Is Okie doke. So it's just me, myself. Hello. Today we're going to do an inner child worksheet. This should be the last week that we address the inner child issue. Reconnecting with your inner child. The objective is to reduce unhealthy behaviors by identifying ways to reconnect to and nurture your inner child. And I can put the link in the chat, but I am also going to put it on the screen so you do not have to fill it out if you don't want to. I'm going to, just for my own mental health. So let's share that screen. And I want to say, how many pages is it? I think it's 9 pages. Yeah, it's only 9 pages, so we'll get through that. Most of it's writing work, so we'll get through that fairly quickly. So we may finish today at 2:30. So let's see. I'm going to make this a little bigger for me. Okay. The objective is, reconnecting. Oh, no. No. That's this one right there. Okay. I'm sorry if you're watching this in replay. You can watch it in 1.2 or 1.25 times. And that'll get you past all this. I'm coughing because it's Michigan and today's a warm day. So the pollen's probably going to be flying around. And then tomorrow it's going to be almost 70 with severe thunderstorms. And then Friday it's going to be back down to 20 overnight. So it's Michigan. It's that time of year. There's not too much you can do about it. So you just roll with it. Okay. I wanted to make this bigger, but not like super size. And there's only one option. Okay. Let's go here then. Reconnecting with your inner child. The objective is to reduce unhealthy behaviors by identifying ways to reconnect to and nurture your inner child. What to know. And last week we went over a lot of the inner child stuff. Inner child healing is a therapeutic process. Inner child healing aims to reconnect you with your inner child. The process of inner child healing can be transformative, leading to increased self-awareness, emotional healing, and a greater sense of wholeness. It enables you to release emotions, rewrite negative narratives. Sorry. And I forgot to use this. Rewrite negative narratives, develop healthier coping mechanisms. Ultimately, inner child healing helps you reclaim your authentic self, foster self-love, and create a more fulfilling and balanced life. By acknowledging the healing past wounds, you can experience personal growth, emotional resilience, and improved relationship with yourself and others. Sorry. One more thing here. Sorry, buddy. Hang on. I'll pick you up. Come here. Do you want to come up here? You just have to let me stop coughing first. Mr. Kitty Cat. Sorry about that again. Mm. Well, my kitty cats are mostly outside because it's nice right now. So there is that. Yep, that's the one I want. Okay. Um, Acknowledging and reconnecting with your inner child involves recognizing and accepting things that cause pain in childhood, bringing them to light to understand their impact now. This worksheet is designed to guide you through the process of exploring your inner child's emotions, experiences, and needs to reduce an unhealthy behaviors that may stem from early wounding. What to do? Okay, this is going to start the first little mm, little thingy here. Hi, Joe. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. We have this crazy weather again. It's nice today. It's going to be hot and it's going to be 70 degrees and crazy thunderstorms tomorrow. So my pain level is at about a 9, and yeah, it's really messing with me. It's really messing with me. So maybe some of this inner child work will help me to reconnect. Okay, you got your medicine. Okay. So you can't hear me? Can you hear me? It's okay if you can't. So I'll just go along and read the worksheet. So no worries. But I hope that it's clearing up and it's not as painful as it was. Okay, let's go to this one here. We're going to read the first little worksheet thingy. Visualize your inner child. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Allow yourself to imagine your younger self standing in front of you. Take a moment to observe this child and notice their age, appearance, and demeanor. How do they make you feel? What emotions arise within you as you connect with this inner child? Describe the child in as much detail as possible. I can't hear out the left ear. I can hear out of right. So, okay. But are you better with is the pain better? I know it was really hurting you. Um, and it's just me and you right now. So when I visualize, let me make my picture bigger. Okay. I think probably it'll get better the more you use the eardrops, maybe. Okay. So when I visualize my inner child, I visualize me at like, I'm not sure how old I am. I'm pretty cute. I was a pretty cute kid. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe 6, maybe 7. I want to say 5, but I feel like I was older than that when I started to have all the bad habits of an inner child. You know, I'm thinking like 10, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in that area. Let's say middle school years. Yeah. And I was a very sensitive kid, but I was brought up to be tough. There was no there wasn't a lot of hugging going on. There wasn't a lot of you're doing great. You know how people support their kids a lot. But that was the time we were in the 80s, in the 70s and the 80s. And that just wasn't a thing really. So and I told you before, my parents got married pretty young. So that's what I see when I see her. Yeah. So that's what I see when I see my inner child. Okay, I'm going to put it back up here. And I have visualized her many times. So if you haven't, this little worksheet would help you if you write down what you look like, or even if you have, like, I have pictures when I was little. So that probably would help me better if I went and looked through those pictures and see what I see in my head, how old I actually am. But other than that, I have a face. Okay. And come on, are you coming up? Let's see. Panther sighting. Panther sighting. We're going to make it big. Oh, this is my teal'c. I don't know why he's so snuggly today. This isn't the big guy. This is the middle guy. He's just being, I was gone all day Monday. I said earlier, I was really busy the last couple of days, so I'm tired. I'm tired today. And so I was gone all day Monday, and all day Tuesday I was at the shop. So he's, I think that's why he's so snuggly today, is because I see you. Look at how pretty. Can you look at the camera so everybody can see how pretty you are? Handsome. How handsome you are. There he is. Say hi, friends. Hi, friends. I'm the baby kitty. I'm the baby kitty. She's the baby. I know. If you guys ever get tired of seeing him, I'll quit doing that. But he's so handsome. He's so handsome. It's my baby. Now, I can't hold you like this for a long time because we have stuff to do here. All right. I'm going to go back up here. And I can't hold you like a baby. So I'm going to put you down. So that's teal'c. Okay. Let's go back over here. So the next one, think about challenging experiences or emotions from your childhood that still affect you today. Write down 3 emotions your inner child experienced during those times, such as sadness, disappointment, fear, anger, loneliness, or confusion. I would say loneliness and confusion and fear. Yeah, I would say that for sure. Okay. Because like I said, it wasn't a very nurturing environment. So I thought it was normal, but I did feel lonely. So when you're in the moment, you think that's just how it is, right? We just think that's how it is. So what happens is the way that we were treated then, it forms ideas in our head, or they'll probably discuss that, but it forms things that you in your subconscious, right, that are back there. And so those emotions, fear, loneliness, and what was the other one? Confusion. Those are back there. So whenever something fearful pops up, or something about loneliness or abandonment, and then anything that confuses me, it can make me angry. So angry as a result. I wasn't an angry child, but as a result, I would get angry. Mine was nurturing, but I still had a really bad experience. Sad, scary, and humiliated as yours. All right. Yeah, Joe. And those are the kind of things that change people. And so I can't, like I said, my childhood was not normal. I did not know that it was not normal. And so when I finally figured it out, I mean, that helped, but I still had all the fears and the confusion. And what was the other one I said? It's not anger. All these created anger, fear, confusion, loneliness, all these created anger. But yeah, situations definitely can change our outcome. Okay, let's see. Wait, I need to change the page first. Okay, so that was a good question. Do you discount or minimize difficult or traumatic experience you had in your childhood? Explain. Now, I'm going to ask, Hi. How are you doing, Palettes? Pouts, perfume. I know who you are. I hope you're doing well. Um, so I'm a little tired, so give me a second. We're talking about inner child work, and it's good to see you. Let us know how you're doing. How is your mental health today? And we're going over some inner child work. Tracy, thank you, Tracy. I still see you on your Instagram posts. I don't go to YouTube too often, or Facebook or Instagram, wherever that stuff is at. I do both Facebook and Instagram, so I still see your posts. Okay. So what we're doing is an inner child worksheet. I don't know if you've ever heard of inner child work, but we've been doing this for like 4 weeks. I think today is probably going to be the last day because we're just taking the questions in general. And so feel free to put in the your answers in the comments if you're comfortable with that. And if you're not, that's fine too. And also, I'll put the link to this in here in the chat if you actually wanted to see what it looks like online. Yeah, let us know how you're doing, Tracy. We want to know. Okay. Do you discount, minimize difficult or traumatic experience you had in your childhood? Explain. Okay. I do minimize them because that's what my parents did. I minimize any traumatic experiences from my childhood. That's what was done. Suck it up, buttercup, get over it. What else? You're going to be fine. Stop crying. I'll give you something to cry. I mean, we've gone over all these before. So I do minimize any trauma I have. And there are so many in my life that I can't really, I'm not going to go into all of them. They were small traumas at different times. And hi, Just Joe. So it all these incidents created a really messed up inner child. So the small traumas were, get over it, blah, blah. And any of the bigger traumas, for me, I would just keep to myself because I knew what they would say. They would say, so what? Get over it. That type of stuff. And that was just the time we were living in. I think that happened to a lot of us in my age group. It didn't make us feel any better, of course, but I don't want to blame parents, grandparents, whoever, except for the ones that caused the trauma. Then those I blame. So let's see. Let me know, ladies, have you ever what was the question again? Have you ever, did you discount or minimize difficult or traumatic experience you had in your childhood? That was the question. And I'm going to say, yes, I did. And it says explain, and I just explained why. So, do you protect those who cared for you out of embarrassment, honor, or guilt? Explain. Do you protect those who cared for you out of embarrassment, honor, or guilt? I would say just out of forgiveness. I don't protect them, but I understand it was a different time. I understand that they were very young. So I don't want to say I'm giving them a pass because I do talk about it here. I talk about what they did. I just don't want to hold them responsible for my entire life. I want to connect with my inner child. I want to make her feel loved, even if she wasn't when she was younger. I can do that now. That's something I can do. And that helps me deal with any situations that might arise or any mental health issues that might arise. Hey, Jen, how are you doing today? We're going over a little inner child worksheet here. And I'm just reading the questions and we're just kind of going along. So you can answer the questions in the comments or not. And I am going to put the link to this in here if anyone's interested. And it's just a web page. You can look it up and then you can print it if you want to, so you can see it better. Good. Still groggy from yesterday, but good. All right. Now, I haven't been Marco Poloing you. Did you have a procedure yesterday? When you say groggy, that's what makes me think you did. All right. But I'm glad you're good. Let's see. Got it. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I hope those helped because that's kind of what Joe gets, the ablations. And it helps her a great deal, so I hope it helps you a great deal as well. That's great. Okie dokie. Let's go to the next question. I do minimize trauma, and I did explain. Do you protect those who cared for you out of embarrassment, honor, or guilt? Explain. And I don't feel the need to protect them. I think they've got to deal with what they did on their own. So I think that dealing with my inner child, because I've already done work, maybe helped me to not do that. Maybe. But I don't feel like I protect people. I just, now at my age, especially, I can't just be like, oh, it's all my mom's fault. It's all my dad's fault. So, I can't, for me personally, do you tend to avoid painful memories? Describe. That's a good question. Do I tend to avoid painful memories? We'll see in a few days. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, good. Do you tend to avoid painful memories? Describe. Now that I'm not sure because memories just kind of pop in your head. So, I have a lot of, how they say, like, if you don't remember a lot from your childhood, I think those were trauma situations. And there's a lot I don't remember. I have significant moments that I do. And then we have photos that show me things. But I don't just, like, if a painful memory comes up, I deal with it. Especially if it's something I never knew I had. So let's see. Do you tend to avoid painful memories? Describe. So I'm going to say I don't avoid them. I'm going to say no. Right now, where I'm at in my wellness journey, I address them when they come up. And I prefer to do it sober. A lot of people address that when they're drinking. In my family, obviously. And I prefer to address it in a calm manner, with, like, I'm not blaming you. I'm letting you know that right now I feel this way because of something you have done in the past. And yeah. So, and my mom already has plenty of guilt about our childhoods. So maybe I am protecting her by not piling on. Let's see. All right. The next one is it can help to capture a timeline of the key events of your childhood. Focus on the developmental years from birth to age 21 to identify wounding patterns of specific events that cause challenges later in your life. Write down any important events and situations. Parents divorced, mom remarried, dad moved to Europe, dad became very ill. Dad passed away. I started partying, smoking weed. I was arrested. Oh, wow. That's a lot. Oh, I have to go over here to go down. I knew that. Next to each situation, rate how emotionally difficult it was from 1 to 10, where 1 I only experienced minor distress. To 10, this is the greatest distress I have ever experienced. Use an additional piece of paper if this requires more space. So we're not going to go over this here. But that might be something that's good for someone to do. It sounds like a tedious thing for me, just saying, because I'm not a writer. I already told you guys I don't really like to journal. Identify childhood triggers. Write about a recent situation where you responded more strongly than you wished. And I did talk about the thing about my birthday when my mom canceled on me. That's the last time I remember acting out and not knowing why. And that's I had to talk to my therapist to figure it out, because I'm like, why did I do that? I have no idea. So actually working through childhood trauma, I like to go to the therapist. So that's the most recent situation that I can remember, because yeah, that was the most recent, because that was when I was working at Detroit Thermal, and at US Steel there was plenty of trauma. There was so much, I just don't remember everything. So is this a regular occurrence? No. Where and when does it happen? How did you feel when this happened? I think we already what body sensations did you experience? I was angry, so angry. And I never yell at my mom, because we were raised in the era where you didn't talk to your parents like that. Now I know it's different today, but you didn't yell at your parents. That's not so I never, even to this day, I don't raise it to her, but I was very angry and I reacted. What situation from your past does this remind you of? Okay, you can still see. Do you want to react or withdraw? I reacted. What situation does this remind you of? And when I went to the therapist and we discussed it, I have abandonment issues that I didn't even know I had. Because even though my mom was a stay-at-home mom, her availability was not, she was not emotionally available or present while she was staying at home. She was depressed. And so that affected me, which I didn't realize until that happened, and I had to go to the therapist to find out. And and there's that. So a lot of this work is good for self-reflection, but honest, and I think Joe agrees with me, you really got to have a professional help you through it. Because some stuff might come up and you're like, wow, I don't know what to do with this. And that's where a professional can come in and help you to figure out what's going on with yourself. Yeah, Joe agrees as well. Yeah. So you'll eventually need to go to a therapist. Someone who deals with childhood trauma would be great. Yeah, because they're people too. You want someone that you connect with. Like we've talked about this before. To get a good therapist, you got to go through a couple bad ones to find a good one. And so you just keep trying, just keep trying. Okay. The conversation with your inner child. Use the following questions to discuss with your earlier self how you felt and your present self regarding what you're going through now. See, and when they gave us these, when the doctors give me these assignments with these pages, I'm going to be honest, I don't usually do them. And in rehab, I was given an assignment to write a letter, and I think I told you guys I didn't do that either. I'm not a writer. I'm better at the talk therapy with the therapist than I am with the journaling or the writing of things. So yeah, that's why I recommend the therapist, because for me, the talk therapy is the best. Let's see. Okay. How does your younger you feel about what is currently happening in your life? My life is good. I have some medical issues, but my mental health is well. I take medication, and that helps me to be more steady. And then when a problem does arise and it's an unusual way for me to act, then I know, okay, there's something we got to do about this. What could others have done to help you when you struggle as a child? When you struggled as a child? Now, this question, okay, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but this question to me, what could others have done to help you when you struggle as a child? Um, I don't know. I don't either. I write stories, but I can't write about myself. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know, Joe. It's just something in there that, because I just like these journal pages, I'm going through them pretty quick because that's what I would normally do. And my answers would be like 2 or 3 words. I don't go in depth. I'm not an essay person. And as far as not writing about yourself, I think it's still good. I think the stories are still good because you're getting stuff out. But I don't even, I'm a talk person. I need to talk to somebody, which my friend Shirley, I was telling you guys about, we talk all the time and she will listen to me for however long I need to talk to her about something. And I will listen to her as well. So she's my therapist. You guys are my talk therapy as well. And then if I have a serious situation, I will go to therapy. Um, Mine would be they should have noticed I had changed. Yes, yes, that's a good one. And I'm trying to, what could they have done differently? I'm going to say just be present. I didn't have that in my life. Just be present. So that's a good one too, Joe. Because I'm assuming that after that you did change quite a bit. All right, let's go up. Okay, what can others do to help you now? I'm not sure. I would say again, be present. Um, be present for me in my life. Just be there. I'm not requiring you to text me every day or call me every day or always see if I'm okay. And then if you don't, then I get mad. None of that. Yes, I started it downward spiral. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. They I don't know. Mine weren't present. Did they, I don't know if it was the time or was it the parents, but even my friend who had a pretty normal life, her parents didn't really pay attention much either. So I'm going to say maybe it was the time we were living in. I'm not giving anybody a free pass though. Don't get me wrong about that. That's not what's happening. I just don't know how to answer the question. Okay, can you accept that you were a child and could not fix the situation? Yes, I can now. Before I did the inner child work, I did not. I did not. Can you accept that you were a child that could not fit? See, I thought I could have fixed it. I was the shoulda, woulda, coulda kid. I was always second guessing myself. After I got out of the situation and I was angry, yeah. Can you accept that you were a child that could not fix the situation? So now I can, but it took a long time for me to accept that I could not fix the situation because I'm a fixer by nature. Um, I want to fix everything for everybody and, people included, which is not good. And so, yeah. What can you do now as an adult to appropriately address the problems you are experiencing? And that's where I would go to a therapist, and you need to have calm dialogue with the person um, if you need to speak to them about problems. But I'm going to say I go to the therapist and I come on my lives and I see my friends. So, all right. Exploring a childhood event. Let's see. While it can be difficult, it's sometimes helpful to revisit an upsetting event or situation. Answer the following questions. What was happening? How old were you? What was going on in your family at this time? Who is involved? What were the sound, sight, smell, or feelings, and how do you feel emotionally? Now, that's definitely something that if I was going to go through it, are there secrets associated with this situation? Do you currently carry pain or hurt related to this situation? What would your inner child like to say to you as an adult? My inner child says to me, because all that other stuff is going to take some time, and that might be something that you want to go through with a therapist. My inner child uh, like to say to you as an adult, um, oh, that I am a good person. She says that I am a good person and that I'm a fun person, where I was not a fun child. I was a very serious child because I thought I had to be the grown up in the situation. Oh, you did? Oh, is it super cool with the laminated? I imagine it is. So I have to tell you, I printed the pages out, but I still haven't started it. So I need to start it. And I'm not going to say, oh, I'll wait till Monday. I need to start it. I'd like to start it because I don't work. I don't go to the shop until Saturday. So I want to start it in these next couple days. So that's part of the ADD part, though. I think is so I got the book. I made the copies, and now I have to do the tasks. So let me know how it goes for you, Joe. I'm glad it's got the lamination. Thanks again for my gift. It really cheered me up. Was it as beautiful in person as it was online? Oh my God. I think I'm going to order it for myself. That palette was gorgeous and so reasonably priced. But let me know too if it sucks, because then I won't get it. Because it's on Amazon. I didn't recognize the brand, but I thought beautiful stuff, more beautiful. Oh, so awesome, Joe. Ugh, it was so pretty. So yeah. I was looking for a cool toned one. I didn't really see a cool toned one, but that green one was beautiful. And the packaging, gorgeous. Gorgeous packaging. So I'm so glad that you like it. Okay, let's see right here. Don't want to remove anything. I want to go back here. Okay. Daily journaling. Journaling is a valuable coping tool that offers you time to reflect on your feelings, thoughts, and daily actions. Getting thoughts and feelings out of your head can be particularly helpful if you struggle with difficult emotions, memories, stress, anxiety, or depression. Using a simple notebook or journal, choose one or more of the following questions to answer each day. So here is a list of questions. I'll go over them just in case you guys are just listening. So, but I have already told you I'm not a journaler. I'm a talker, which is why I'm here on the live. So, what am I grateful for today? What have I learned in the past that I found useful today? Who supported me in the past that benefited me today? What difficult situations in the past helped me overcome obstacles today? What 5 things made me feel peaceful today? You're only supposed to answer one question each day. What does my family admire me for? What was the highlight of my day? What do I admire about myself? What one thing will I forgive myself for this week? What 3 compliments did I receive this week? How do I sabotage myself? What negative benefits do I have about myself? Where do they come from? What situations do I find most difficult? What mistakes do I make and repeat, and why? How did I react to an upsetting situation this week? And can you think of other questions? Now, the one that I did want to address is, what negative beliefs do I have about myself? Where do they come from? Nope, that's not the one. What are 3 compliments did I receive this week? So I want to talk about receiving compliments. So I used to be one of those people that just kind of pushed it out of the. Oh, that's great. Or, oh, you have such a pretty shirt. And I would say, oh, yeah, I got it from Walmart instead of saying thank you. So I am doing much better in my older age at just saying thank you because it's a compliment. They don't need to know how much you paid for it, where you got it. They don't need to know where it was made. Yeah, Joe, I don't receive them well. So I do my best to not do that because that's my first go to is to go, oh, you can get it at, so and so for this much money. And I tell everybody. And so what I just need to say is thank you. And that is something I have to work with my inner child for as well, because we didn't get a lot of compliments when we were little. And if we did, sometimes they were creepy and not well received. So as I got older, I receive compliments from women better than I do from men because it creeps me out, unless it's my husband. So, or if like my brother's like, okay, that's a nice sweatshirt, or a nice shirt, or you look nice today. That's my brother though. So, and I'm sure that's some childhood trauma stuff. So I don't receive compliments well from men. But from women, I am getting much better at just saying thank you. I appreciate that you like my sweatshirt or sweater or t-shirt or whatever. So I can understand where you may have some issues with compliments too. And that's just my personal feelings about it. And yeah, and like I said, I'm not a hugger either. I don't want people coming up and hugging all on me either. And in my memory, that's just not how we were raised. If there's any trauma related to that, I have no memory of it. I just don't feel comfortable about it. And I think I told you guys once I was talking to my therapist, and we were talking about doing inner child work, or because I don't have a lot of memories of when I was little. And she said that usually that's trauma that you're blocking out if you don't have a lot of memories of when you were younger. And she said that what you need to know is that when we go down this road, and I'm not saying we shouldn't, that there may be things that come up that you don't remember that could be more traumatic now when you do remember than it was back then. Sometimes we block stuff out because it helps us with our inner mental health. And so I decided at that time I wasn't going to do like any regression stuff, any like try to find those memories I didn't have. But we worked on all the inner child stuff with the memories I do have. And like I said, there's a lot of blanks. And but I just felt like I was in such a good place that I didn't want to tempt that fate because that's in my past. And unless it's making me a bad person now, which I don't feel it is, then I didn't want to address it. So, but I do know I'm not comfortable with compliments from men, even family members. My brother, it's okay, but even some cousins and things like that creeps me out. So, yeah, there is that. Well, I'm getting better, but I'm not perfect. Well, that was one that really hit home there. Okay. What page are we on? 7. We're almost done. Let's come back. Let's see. Are you still here, Jen? Oops, sorry. Okay. So now what was I going to do? Oh, I was coming back to chat because we're almost done with these pages. And the soonest we can quit is it's only 15 minutes to 2:30. I guess I've been talking a lot. I took my medication early. So what I figured out is I can't take it an hour before. I have to take it at least an hour and a half before. And then it kicks in. So hour and a half, my meds kick in and I feel better. I'm still tired, but I think it's from running around the past 2 days. But yeah, so when I take it right before I go live, it doesn't kick in until after the live. That's just, crazy. And let me have some coffee here. I got pistachio creamer, and I like that it tastes like nutty pistachios. Um, let's see. That sucks. What did I do? What did I just say? Oh yeah, the medicine. Yeah. Yep, I got to make sure I take it early enough. So, oh, it's good. I don't know if you drink coffee, Joe. I know Michelle does because we talk about it a lot. But it's a pistachio yeah, it's just cream. It's milk. Um, there's sugar in it for sure, and the pistachio flavoring is supposed to be natural, and it's pretty good. Oh, okay, I like it. I like it a lot. It's one of those creamers that doesn't have any artificial anything in it, and I'm pretty sure it's coffee mate. It's natural. It's a natural. They don't have all the chemicals that other stuff does. Um, but it tastes like pistachios. So I'm enjoying it in my coffee because I don't mind some hazelnut sometimes too. Um, but if you get a chance and you do find it, I highly recommend it. I can't think of the name of but it's in a white bottle and it has like a pistachio in front, I think, or pictures. It looks like a all natural thing. It looks pretty. But it's not Chobani or anything like that. And I don't think it's Coffee Mate. Mm. So, but if you get a chance, it's really good. Let me finish my protein bar. So far, this has been a lot to take in. Let me put the link right here. Go here. Okay. Now I want to copy. Now I'm going to come back here and let's see if it will paste. Control and Command V. Yes, it did. And also, if you just put in there reconnecting with your inner child into Google, it's the PDF. It's the first thing that comes up. Because I don't even know if you can cut and paste. I don't think you can. But I'm not sure. Oh, it's right here. Oh, no, you can't. You can push the link. I'm watching on my phone as well. So I'm one of the people that's in here. There's 3 of us. And I think Jen might be the 3rd person. So, yeah, if you're feeling like you would like to go through that is a free to download or free to print. And, okay, let's go back here. Okay. The most helpful thoughts. Excuse me. Inaccurate and unhelpful thoughts can make your life difficult. Excuse me. This exercise can help you identify and challenge such thoughts and replace them with more helpful ones. So this would be, I believe this is the inner self talk. Identify one unhelpful thought. One unhelpful thought I have. Okay, no worries. No worries. One unhelpful thought that I have. I'm sure I have them. I'm just not thinking. I'm just not sure what it would be. One unhelpful thought. Oh, my perfectionism maybe. Like if I can't do it right, I'm not going to do it at all. So my house is a mess. And I don't physically think those words, but I think in my mind I have those, well, why do it? Why do it now? Replace it with a more helpful thought. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. What do you guys think are unhelpful thoughts? 'Cause I have a lot of negative self-talk. And I'm thinking if that's what it is, like, I don't know. My depression right now, I'm pretty good with, my medicines and stuff. It's just the weather, and with the weather fluctuating like it is, I'm having more pain this year. And you guys know, more pain is more harder time sleeping. And then if I'm active, that include, I got the tens thing out again for my knee. And so when you do feel good, you want to get up and do everything, right? And then you're hurting for however long. Um, but I just, with the weather going back and forth, I'm not feeling good. And that's just me. So I am good, but I feel blah. I don't feel like I'm horrible, this and that. I just feel blah. So like I'm not motivated. That's my main, like with my depression, that's the first thing that happens to me is the not motivated. So I know that that's what it is. And I know it's because of the weather. But then I beat myself up and I say, well, why couldn't I get this done? Why didn't I get this done? I sat on the couch all day, that kind of stuff. So maybe that's the unhelpful thoughts. I should have done this. I should have done that. And then I did get the calendar, the ADHD workbook for cleaning, and I am going to start on that. And that's helpful. And I like that there are blank pages in there that you can make your own schedule for your own stuff too. So that's eventually what I'm going to do, but I'm going to start with the pages. And like I said, not today, but maybe Thursday and Friday. And I'm not going to say maybe. I'm definitely going to start Thursday. I'm going to take that paper out and check everything off for the day that I can get done. And then I need to write in other things that I need to do that aren't on that list. So maybe that is more of an unhelpful thought, like why bother kind of thing. I don't know. All right. With practice, replacing unhelpful thoughts will become automatic. That is true. That is true. It's harder to do than just that, but practicing is good. You just got to keep trying. I'm not perfect at it either. I know we're all not. The negative self-talk, that's one of the hardest things to get through, because it's not the inner child talking to me, it's me talking to myself, my adult self. When if it was something that had happened years ago, I'd be like to my inner child, I love you, you're good, we can get this done. But just me talking to myself, no. So not giving myself grace, I guess. Let's see. Reflect on unmet needs. Write down 3 unmet needs you had as a child. These needs could include safety, love, attention, validation, understanding, or support. I would say safety was big for me. Support I did not get. And I believe I was loved, but it was never shown. So I'm going to say attention, safety, attention, and support. Safety, because I felt like I was the adult and I had to always be the adult. And then the attention, like I said, my parents just were never present. And support, just some support about my interests. Nothing was, I wasn't encouraged to go to college. I wasn't encouraged to do specific things. You know how parents actually save money for their kids' colleges now? That was not done back then. You were lucky to go to college unless your parents had a lot of money. So There was that. I hope that made sense. Let's go back over here. For each unmet need you identify, write down a compassionate and nurturing response you can offer your inner child. I would say, I support you, and I would have to pay attention to my inner child more, which I don't. I know she's there and I love her, and I talk to her, but it's not like a daily thing. And as far as safety, I feel much safer now that I'm an adult and I understand safety and how to make myself feel safe. Compassionate and nurturing response for unmet need 1. How you can feel this as an adult. Okay. Write a letter to your inner child. Now, this is something anybody can do without even having this. Express love, compassion, and understanding, and apologize for any pain you experienced as a child. Reassure your inner child that you are here to support and protect them now. Offer words of comfort, encouragement, and validation. Take as much space as you need to express your feelings and intentions towards your inner child. Use an additional piece of paper as necessary. Okay, so there's a journaling. We're almost done. Self-care practices. Write down 3 self-care practices you can include in your daily life to nurture and support your inner child. These practices should help you create a safe and loving space within yourself. I try to play or laugh every day. I was just playing with my niece the other day or yesterday with some blocks, and we made a bridge and we drove cars under the bridge, but she didn't know how to do the vroom vroom sound. So I was doing the vroom vroom sound. And so eventually, when her dad came to pick her up, she said vroom vroom, and I was like, see, you got to work with her on the vroom vroom because she's going to be driving a car eventually, right? So I had a good time, and so crafting helps me, and I'm loving the pottery that I've just started. It doesn't like my arthritis, so I have a doctor's appointment on Friday, and so I'm going to talk to her about a rheumatologist because it would be nice if I could get something that might slow it down, or I have a hard time comforting myself. Yeah, me too, Joe. Like I said, I don't do it every day, and I don't, take specific time for my inner child, which maybe would make me able to do that more. But I feel like I did the work that I needed to do, and that I am with her. And I mean, like, I don't talk to her every day, but she's with me every day. I know she's with me because I did the work and I found her, and we're good, that kind of stuff. Let's see, what was it again? Self-care practices. And this is self-care. So when people talk about self-care, about face masks, and I mean, those are great, but these are the things that self-care really means. Taking care of your mental health, your inner child, taking care of your physical well-being, mentally and physically. That self-care. I think a spa day is what I would call the other stuff, because I don't think you should take a day off to go to the spa because your mental health is, you know, I don't know if that's like, and we've had this conversation before. People use terms too loosely now, which I'm glad there's talk in the mental health space. I'm very glad for that. But for it to be a mainstream term now, like trigger, like self-care, I don't think people really get what self-care should be, and they think it's just like a spa day, letting someone take care of you. Self-care. Me either. So when people use that term with spas and things, I don't know. I know we're still doing something for ourselves. We're still using a face mask for ourselves. But I don't think that it is, our definition of self-care is different than maybe some younger people. So and that can bother me a little bit too. I don't like when people just say they are something. Self-diagnosis needs to be checked by a regular doctor. Absolutely. Absolutely. Spa days, face masks, bubble baths, and all those things are rewards. Ah, that's good, Jen. Rewards, not self-care, in my opinion. Yes. And that is what I think the problem is. They're rewards for people who think they have issues and they've not been through what we've been through, mentally and physically. Um, and I definitely don't like people using trigger. I don't like people using, and we already talked about self care. I think there's something else that I don't like that is just a word that they just throw around now, and it needs to be, it doesn't have the same. Good choice of words, Jen. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you should reward yourself. I have no problem with that in whatever way. Like, my favorite thing to do is to have a treat. Like, we went to Cheesecake Factory on Monday. So I brought home an extra piece of cheesecake. That's my reward. That's my reward. That's my, but as far as self-care goes, it's got a deeper meaning and people are just throwing it around just like triggered. As I don't think people who say they're triggered understand what that actually means. And yeah, I don't think so. So and I've heard people say that, oh, gaslight is a popular word. And you really got to know what that means. And some people use it in incorrectly. And so I don't like that either. I'm trying to think of other words that are real popular in the mental health arena that should not be popular. Um, yeah, the cheesecake, I know. um, and I don't, if I'm not on YouTube or doing a wellness or a mask Monday, I don't do face masks normally. I do have this glycolic acid one that I'll do before I get in the shower. But that's just like a 15-minute leave on, and then I wash it off. We have an entire generation of entitlement and they have zero clue what the words they use really mean. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So then someone who really does have triggers doesn't understand what they are. They think they're these other whatevers, and there are serious triggers that occur with trauma. It's not, oh, you said I'm not pretty, you triggered me, or you know what I mean? That just ridiculous stuff. Yep. Great stuff, Jen. So let's see. So this is more of what the self-care is that I agree with. Um Inner child work is an ongoing process. And this worksheet is just the beginning. Revisit the exercise and practice whenever you want to reconnect with your inner child. Be patient, gentle, and compassionate with yourself as you navigate this healing journey. How helpful was this exercise? Oh, that's just for the website, I guess. Because they are trying, I'm pretty sure it's a therapy website, but they happen to have a free PDF that I thought was something I wanted to check out. So let's see what time it is. It is 2:34 and we have finished our thingy there. If there's anything besides inner child or even more inner child questions, we can go over those. If you have any, just put them in the comments. I have physical triggers and it interferes with my real life and medical tests I have to do. Yeah. And that is something that I have to get sedated for those tests. Okay. That is a serious trigger, a physical reaction. That is a serious trigger. And just to be blasé about other things and say the word trigger, it takes away the seriousness of it, right? It makes it not as important as it is. When someone in our position uses it, people just think it's like what the millennials or whoever is saying it all the time. And that is a serious trigger when you need to get sedated. Um, I can't think of what else they say triggers them, but just, throwing it around like that is not cool, in my opinion. Let's see. I almost punched an ultrasound tech because she said a BS comment about it. Right. Oh, yeah. My problem is the inner child I have that's older. I have a hard time confronting. I think because the world has been so hard since then. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think you can have an inner child and maybe an inner teenager as well. I don't usually I did some crazy stuff when I was a teenager, and there is no inner teenager work. I guess that's just stuff because that's not inner child stuff. That's stuff we did willingly, but we did it because of stuff that happened when we were younger that we didn't realize. I was looking for attention. I was looking for safety. And what was the other word I used? Safety, attention, and support in all the wrong places, right? Yep. So I understand that, Joe. I understand that. And they never say like your inner teenager. That's something that we should consider looking up and delving into a little bit, because I'm ashamed of a lot of that. I'm I'm okay with myself now, but some of the stuff I did as a teenager was very shameful. So, rehab addressed my inner child and what drove me to do what I did. And that's where I learned about it as well, was in rehab. Um I'm not sure if we're talking about the same one, but I went to alcoholic uh I went to rehab for being an alcoholic. So, and it was really good for me as well. It was really good for me to find out about the inner child. I didn't even know what that was, and had been to many therapists before that. No one ever said anything about my inner child. So, and I've told you before, I'm an adult child of Alcoholics ADA, and that's where I learned that as well. So, yeah, I can't say, even though, and I'm not ashamed to tell people that I went. So that's not the shameful that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the stuff when I was, 16, 17, 18. And again, no support from parents, no attention, no safety. I was running the streets big time, doing whatever I wanted to do. And they were not, I'm staying at so and so's house. Okay. I did put patient drug. Okay. Outpatient drug. Yeah, I was in the rehab for 3 weeks. They would not let me. Well, I didn't. I checked myself in, but um everybody was getting out in 2 weeks, and then they like extended mine, and I was like, so a new group comes in, so the people that you got to know are all gone, and it's just you. And I was very sad, but that's when I learned about the adult child of alcoholic stuff and the inner child stuff. Yeah. Mine was outpatient for a year. Okay. That is a long time though. So I'm imagining that you learned a lot. Mine was just an additional week, but it was intense. It was a very intense week. Um, and she kept me because I just couldn't stop crying. So they dealt with the addiction, and then they went and it dealt with the mental health aspect. And that's what caused it to be longer, because basically we talked about this. I was coping with alcohol, and the things that I was coping with were from being an adult child of alcohol, which led us to inner child work. And I have a book. She gave me a book. So, We classified inner child as all ages under 20. Really? Now that I did not know, Jen. So our inner teenager would still be considered an inner child. Okay. Well, you obviously knew that, Joe, but I did not know that. I thought it was like when you say child to me, I think preteen. And, because when I was a teenager out there making those bad choices and didn't have any guidance, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I was just bad, bad, bad. And so there is a lot of shame around my inner teenager. So I guess I should ask, so you can have more than one inner child? No, Joe, you are correct. Yeah, no, you're correct. So I didn't know. I didn't know. So because the inner child I talked to, like I told you, she's like between 7 and 10. She's cute. It's like she's so cute. Why did nobody protect her? Why did nobody um make her feel safe and supported? And then so that's the one I go to, like, you should have been, and I want to love on her. And I like the littler kids, like after they've been potty trained and they can walk and stuff and you can go do cool stuff with auntie. That's the age that I like kids at. So that's when I see my inner child, where she can hang out with me at the age group that I like kids at. So but yeah, there's some stuff that, some shame for sure about that. And I don't run into a lot of people. A lot of people don't live in Monroe anymore. And so I don't run into a lot of people that were there when I was being bad. And so I don't deal with that, honestly. I really don't. We went off brain development. It could technically be all the way to 25 years old. When you say brain development, do you mean like when I finally smartened up and stopped being bad or like that? Well, sounds like you had a really good therapist, Jen. It really does. Hmm. So it would be a good idea to go back over my workbook and look at myself as a teenager and see. But now I know why I was acting out, but there's still shame there. Especially boys. Now I've heard that before too. I can't I don't know. You mean as far as making good choices? Because that's what I was making bad choices in the age. Like I said, 16. I got married when I was 21, and that was a good thing. But we had a lot of years we had to work through stuff. I mean, it was hard. When I ended up, I would say late 40s is when we finally got comfortable, and we are good. Like we argue a little bit, not all the time. And when we argue, I address it immediately. Or before, try to pretend it didn't happen or just hold it in and just be mean. No physical brain development. Okay. Okay. So maybe there's more that we need to delve in this arena that I'm just not aware of. I learned more about it when I took child psychology in college. Okay. So maybe you think that might be something I should look up, child psychology? I don't want to be, telling people stuff that's they need to go to their therapist to find out. So, but yeah, I'm with you, Joe, in that area. I'll go through my book and see if maybe there's something in there. It's really worth a look. Okay. Yeah. So, let's see. I do have the book. I'm going to go through the book. I was thinking about skipping next week, which is the 1st of April, which is April Fool's Day. And then coming back on the 8th and doing it every week there for a little bit, especially for the alcoholic aspect. Yeah. Yeah. And that was really eye-opening when she diagnosed me with that. Not as an alcoholic, but as an adult child of an alcoholic. I learned a lot from that, and that helped with my inner child work as well. And I online there is a group that I go to sometimes to listen to people. I don't usually um, say anything in it. It's in the rooms, and they have NA, ACA. They have Overeaters Anonymous, I believe, and Gamblers Anonymous as well. And that's where I go for therapy sometimes. In the Rooms is what it's called. It's an app now, I think, or a website, and you can um they have meetings just like when you're in AA. They do all the they read all the guidelines and stuff, and then they get into then what they talk about after that is uh they'll read like a section from the workbook, and then they'll say, now it's time for you can for 2 to 3 minutes you can talk. And I watch those people, and those people are like me. I am like those people. I don't usually share. That's what it's called, sharing. But I do like to watch the shares and see how other people are dealing with stuff and what they've went through as well. And it helps me to understand a lot of what I went through in my childhood, because that's what they talk about a lot. And so In the Rooms is what it's called, if you ever get a chance to look it up and you're interested in it. Because the ACA meetings in Monroe, they have the Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't even think we have NA meetings in Monroe. It's not that big. But the ACA meetings are not local. I refuse to do NA. If I go to a meeting, I do AA. The program that I did was totally different. Oh, okay. Okay. And what I do is ACA. But I have been, when I was in therapy, we went to AA meetings every couple times a week. They would have 2 there every week, and then they would have some that weren't at the facility. So I just went to the ones that were at the facility. So you just like the format of the AA meeting better than the NA? Because I only went to one NA meeting, and then I was like, eh. And everybody was required to go to the AA meeting. Yeah. So when I do the ACA, it's the same structure. They go over things, um, and these phrases and things that they say all the time, and then they do that prayer. God grant me the serenity to change the things I can, and to accept the things I can't, and they do all that in the ACA, but they have a different book. ACA has a different book. So, and I have that on my phone. And then if you go to In the Rooms, they sometimes have those things available for you to download, like whatever they're reading that day. And so it's a good place to go, and if you want to share, you can. I just don't usually, because I'm more of a one-on-one sharer. If I'm going to share, I need to be with my therapist or with my person or here, to share. People in AA meetings were taking their recovery more seriously. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I agree. I noticed that as well. Because by the time you go to an AA meeting, it's because some people in the NA meetings, they have to go because they got caught, and that's part of their sentence. In AA, you still have some of that as well, but in NA, you have a lot of that. And I don't agree with most of the curriculum because they believed in absolute, and recovery is never absolute. You absolutely, that is correct. Recovery is not 100%. You are always in recovery. So, I do still watch my drinking. I make sure that I'm not drinking because I'm depressed. I'm you know what I mean? When I have a drink, it's conscious. I know what I'm doing. I'm having a drink for this purpose. It's not just everyday drinking all day, all the time. So, and yeah, it's not absolute. I'm surprised. I don't remember that because I told you I only went to one NA meeting. So, that just seems ridiculous. Everybody knows that recovery is not, I mean, you don't go to rehab one time and you're cured. You can't, that doesn't happen. You get better, but a lot of people leave recovery and go right back to drugs or alcohol, depending on why they were sent. But the ACA, I really enjoy that. It speaks to me more. But the AA meetings were very structured, and at the time I was thankful for that as well. They didn't have any ACA meetings either there available, but my therapist did talk to me about it. Because it wasn't very common, or it wasn't diagnosed, because a lot of people were going to AA and they really were adult children. Um, like me, like I said, that was my coping mechanism. But I don't have to drink. Um, and when I do, I have to be conscious of why I'm drinking. So, mhm. Well, all forms of NA and AA believe that if you are one form of an addict, you are all forms, and that is the furthest thing from the truth. Oh, really? I don't remember that from AA, but like I said, once I left, I didn't go to any AA meetings. They did want you to know where they were at, but I started the ACA meetings. And they know that recovery is long term, and that you can be an ACA and still be an alcoholic or a narcotic, a drug abuser, or any other type of abuser, because some of the mindset, the genetics from an alcoholic parent are obsessive compulsive. You know, drinking to feel better, smoking to feel better. That all comes with it. So there is a big difference between those two. And like I said, I couldn't find a meeting near me, so I started within the rooms. It's in the big book. Okay. But I guess that's where the addictive comes from. They think you're addicted to everything, but like, I wasn't using narcotics intentionally. I was taking a sleeping pill with the alcohol. So they did kind of classify me as both. I didn't know that I was both, but I don't. That was just a not knowing that you're not supposed to take this pill with alcohol, and I didn't know that. And so you just you just stated the opposite of what I was saying. I'm sorry, Jen. Tell me, because I am kind of all over the place. I'm tired today. It's in the big book. I did have the big book. I think no, I still have it. It's right up there where my books are at. I still have the AA big book. And what did I say was the opposite? Because mostly I agree with everything you're saying. All forms of NA and AA believe that. That's what I mean. Okay, so I understand where they're coming from as far as if you have an addicted personality. Yeah, and I agree with you. Even though you have an addictive personality, you may not be addicted to drugs or gambling. Like, I'm not a gambler. Um, I'm not a, you know, I could probably go to overeaters, but now I'm on the GLP-1, so that's different now too. But shopping addiction, that's where the term addictive personality, I think, is. I understand what you're saying, Jen. Though, just because you're you use alcohol to cope doesn't mean you use drugs to cope. It doesn't mean you gamble to cope or do all the things. And sex addict, that kind of thing. It doesn't mean you're any of the other things. It means, I think, what I thought they were saying was that you could possibly be, but I didn't know it said you are. I know that you are addicted to everything. I haven't read the book that well. Yeah. So I understand what you're saying. Just because you're addicted to alcohol doesn't mean you're addicted to everything else. It doesn't. They're saying with an addictive personality that you could be, maybe, but you're saying they say you are. So I don't agree with them. I agree with you. I was just trying to see their point of view as far as where they were coming from for that. Yeah. Because I love shopping, but I don't I still take medication, but I don't like take too much medication or illegal medication, you know what I mean? So I agree with you. Sorry, I'm still here. No worries, Joe. I know sometimes you get a nap in. That's good too. I don't mind. But no, I agree with you, Jen. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think if someone's addicted to narcotics that they may not drink alcohol at all. Right. It's an individual decision. Yeah. Some people may be that way, but not everyone is. Um, I like I like the story of how they started AA. I had to shred stuff. Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you might have had to take Buddy out too. He's a cutie patootie. Oh, there are 5 of us here. All right, let's see what time we got. Oh, it's 3 o'clock. So we're gonna go. Let's see. Joe and Jen, do you guys still want to chat? I'll send you the link, or you got stuff you gotta do. Right, exactly. Yeah. uh, that must be your puppy or a kitty. I think it's your puppy though. Okay, Joe. She can chat. Let me get the link here. Let's go. Share screen. Nope. Where is that? Oh, invite. Okay. Invite. Copy. One of the pups. Aw. Gotta get something to eat. Okay. Um, do you want to come into there? Because I'll just put it right here if you still wanna come into Command V. That's not what I'm trying to do. Oh, here it is. Command V. Okay. Yeah, just when you after you eat, or you can eat while you're on there. So I'm sending the link in the chat for us. There it is right there. I know there are 5 people here, so if anybody else wants to join, feel free. All right, Jen. Yeah, no hurry. I'm going to refresh my water and yeah. And